Hello, I'm here to explain how a few things work. In this video, I'm going to explain how to uh, make a fizzy bone, how to make changes to a fizzy bone. So I'm going to explain how to change them in certain ways for the certain effect you want to have on the fizzy bone, and also how to add more, try to get more fizzy bones. Let's say you have a lot of items that you want to all have fizzy bones on, but you don't know how to make them work. In the description, there's a link where you guys can download the all-in-one Unity package that I'm going to be using. It has most of the stuff you're going to need to upload an avatar, like Goku Loco. It has Pyomi shaders, dynamic bones, penetration system, VRC SDK, and it also has Bloodborne. You guys can look in the description. I will have a Mediafire link. You guys can download all that. By the way, I do want to clarify that you do not need the all-in-one Unity package to be able to import your avatar. You can manually get VRC SDK and all the stuff you will need for that avatar. But I normally use mine because it's just way easier. Not a lot of work to do. But let's say here is my avatar and I want to add fizzy bone to the hair. Let's say for now the hair. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to click on my avatar in the avatar tree. I call this an avatar tree. I actually don't know what this is, but I'm gonna call it an avatar tree for now. Go in, then you go to amateur, hips, spine, chest, neck, and head. And normally in head, your hair would be here. You can see the hairs that I'm gonna be using. All those. And let's say I want to add fizzy bone to it. You guys can shift click. Let's say all your hairs are here. You can just click on one side, hold down shift, click on the other side, and it'll select everything in between. Let's say your hair is a little bit messed around, there's one here, but you don't want the eyes and left eye and right eye to be all selected. You can hold down control, click, 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 click. Easy enough. Or you can just swipe them all together, manually drag them all next to each other. But I suggest doing this when adding physbones so you can make sure that all the hair components are exactly the same. So you want to add component in inspector, add component, look up Phys, I misspelled it, Phys, Phys, and look for fizzy bone. Over here you can see there's now lines in the hair, meaning that there is fizzy bones in the hair. Those are, every one line counts as one bone. So you can see there's 2 bones in this hair, 1, 2, but normally you will be able to see it when you go to builder. Normally in the description you'll see how many you have. You can have, I don't even know the amount you can have for Windows. It's like a ridiculous amount. You'll never be able to reach that amount unless you try. But for Quest, you're only allowed a total of 64 fizzy bones. So it's very hard to get all your fizzy bones for Quest. But to change your fizzy bone, let's say you want the preset to have hair. I would normally suggest putting gravity fall off to max. If you do want to test it out, by the way, before you change these, or I'm going to show you guys a really good thing you can do as well. To undo something, you can click Control Z, by the way. Click play at the top. This will show you how your avatar will be performing in game. You'll be able to see fizzy bones. Let's say you have a texture on your avatar that constantly changes. you'll be able to see all your physbones and such. So here, if I move my avatar, you can see the hair moves. But let's say for the hair, this is a bit unrealistic because the hair is just sticking like that and it's supposed to be flowing sideways. You can go to your hair now and you'll be able to play around with these settings a little bit. Personally, I have my thing as if it's hair, it's gravity full, gravity fall off full, so you can still have that hair flowiness, but you won't need that per se. It's your choice. So then you can test out all your stuff, and before you unclick play, please remember to first go to your all the physbones you just changed, copy the copy component, unplay, meaning everything will go back to what it was. Select all your physbones and click paste component values. Basically, copies what you did in play mode and paste it over back into what you're actually currently working on. But make sure your play is off while editing things, as when it comes to uploading and you want to upload what all the work you just did, but you were in play mode, that I'll show you in just a second. This happens way too much to me. I go in play mode, forget to get off play mode, and then I just lose a bunch of progress. When you're on play mode, you might see this and you might not be able to move around. Just click scene at the left top. You'll see that you'll not be able to upload your avatar. You want to go out of play mode. All right. Also, if you do not know how to upload your avatar, if you've never used Bloodborne, click Bloodborne at the top, control panel, you'll see Bloodborne open up. Also, here's just a quick thing. To be able to interact with physbones, you need to have colliders. If you want to check if your avatar has colliders, go on the avatar tree, click your main avatar, go to the avatar descriptor, go all the way at the bottom, you see there's colliders. If you click that, it'll show you all the colliders you have on your body. See, I have in my fingers here, my palm and my individual fingers, to my feet, torso, other hand, and my head. But let's say, per se, I want my let's say legs. Let's say I want my legs to have more components, because I want to be able to interact with people using my legs. This is just an example. Let's just say that I want to be able to interact with people, or you have a toggle. Let's say you have a stick and you want to be able to interact with your avatar using the stick. You just put this component on it. I'll show you how to do that. You want to first close this and check where you want the component to be. I'm going to be doing it under hips, right leg and left leg, but I'll first show you the right leg. So here you can see your knee, and let's say I want to add a collider there. What I'm going to do, add component to my knee, type in Phys, and look for physbone collider. You just add that, put it to the shape you want. And if you don't want it to be a circle, you want to be the whole leg from the knee. I would suggest going to shape type, putting in capsule, and then changing this capsule size to whatever you want. But do remember, you want to make it right. You don't want this big top piece to hang out. So go here, change the height to something a little bit more right, and then the position as well to what your knee actually is. So this is my knee. You can see it is actually exactly where I would need it to be. If you want it to be the exact same for the other side, click the little 3 dots at the right, copy component, go to your other leg, add the physibone colliding, and paste those values. You can see now that I have 2 extra colliders. This will interact with any physibone. That's how you collide with other people's physibones or yourselves. Also, more settings for your hair. Guess I forgot to tell you those. But you can set things like the immobility. Immobilities basically just means how much it will actually move. Like if I put this to 1, I'll show you in just a sec how this looks. There's also stuff like I allow collision, meaning if people allowed to collide with your physibones? Are you allowed to collide yourself with physibones? Are you allowed to like anything collide with your physibones? If you don't want anything to collide with your physibones, if you want it to be natural and nothing be able to touch it, let's say I want my hair to move, but I don't want people to be able to touch my hair or move it around, turn off allow collision, then people won't be able to interact with those physibones, but they'll still work. You can also turn off grabbing and posing. Grabbing basically means people can grab your physibones, move it around a little bit, and then let go of it and it'll fall back to the original state it was in. Posting meaning people can grab it, click trigger, and then the physibone will stay the way they pulled it. You can turn those off. I normally turn off posing and sometimes turn off grabbing, but grabbing is also nice sometimes. Also grab movement, how easy do you want it to be able to move? I would suggest keep it on the default 0.5, but if you want it to be moving a lot, if you want to be able to move it a lot, then put that to max. Also stretch, if you want to be able to stretch the hair, you can put stretch up. But here I'm going to show you quickly what immobility looks like. You can see here it doesn't really do much. Nothing, it's not really interacting with the environment all that much, but if you put that to 0, you can see nice little move hair. Hair can move very nicely. All that good stuff. Also, you do have pull, movement, stiffness. You can play around with these. I don't mess around with them too much, but if you want them to have a specific wiggle or bounce or movement on the physibones, just play around with these. And yeah. Also, something I want to show you is, let's say perchance I don't have enough hair to show you this right now, but let's say perchance you're on quest. So I'm going to quickly switch to quest and I'll talk to you guys in just a second. All right, so now that we're in Android, I'm going to quickly show you a problem you might run into while doing these. And that is, let's say you have a lot of hair. Let's say you have a lot of hair, and you don't know how to fix it. Let's say you can see those physibone components. You have 11. You're only allowed 8. If you are using Bloodborne and you have this error and you still upload, this will automatically remove physibones of the game's choice. The game will choose certain physibones to remove, normally from the top down. So it'll just start removing physibones and you won't really have a choice where you want your physibones. But what I would suggest while doing something like this is to get yourself VRC quest tools. I might also put that in Mediafire in the description. Get yourself quest tools. It's really good if you want to remove or add physibones and you don't really know where they are. you can pick which ones you want to keep. You can pick which ones you want to remove. You basically just import it, and a little menu will pop up that I will quickly show you how it's going to look like and how to use it. So I completely forgot to talk about this when I was recording and only saw this while I was editing. But let's say you want your hair to be a little bigger. You want the hitbox to be a bit bigger because right now, that small line you're looking at, that's the hitbox. That's how where your finger has to interact with that hair. That's where that has to interact. So let's say you want it to be a little bit bigger. Like this is way too small. It's not even covering the complete hair. So if people want to interact with the hair, you need a little bit of a bigger hitbox. It's normally a bigger issue if you're female, for obvious reasons, and you want the hitbox to be a little bit bigger because you don't want people to have to reach into your body to be able to touch your physbone. What you want to do is you want to actually go over here to radius, or turn this up a little bit, not too much because it's different for a lot of avatars, but you normally do 0.0 something. So over here you can see 0.02 looks pretty good on my avatar. So that's how big the hitbox is. That's where someone's finger has to touch that cylinder to be able to interact with that hair's physbone. So if you put the radius up, it will make it bigger for people to interact with it more easily. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. All right, so get all this stuff out of your screen. Do not click deactivate avatar. This will deactivate your avatar. It won't work. This is also a pretty good way if you're lazy and you want to convert your entire avatar to Quest, but you have so many errors and you don't want to go through them manually and you don't really care. You can always click convert to Quest. If there is some problems doing this. The quality will look pretty bad. It'll remove a lot of physbones and a lot of scripts and toggles. It won't really remove toggles, but sometimes it can remove toggles or break toggles or remove all your physbones. And yeah, so you can do it, but I don't really do it. I don't use it. But let's say there's too many physbones and you don't know where they are. You can't remove them. You can click remove physbones. It'll pop up this little menu here. What you want to do is click your avatar, and it'll show you all your physbone, your colliders, and your contacts for that avatar. I need to breathe a little bit, but let's say you want to keep your contacts, that's completely fine, but you want to manually add all your physbones. You can untick that, click delete unselected, and it'll get rid of all your physbones. Now, you can either go manually do it, or sometimes what I do, if it's a female avatar, I keep those physbones. I don't untick them. I keep the chest and I keep the butt physbones. But for guys, I normally remove all of it and then manually add the hair physbones. But let's say you have too many. All right, I'm gonna show in a quick example that this is all the physbones I have. This is all the hair. Okay, so you won't have this many. I don't actually have this many, but let's say, for example, this is how many I have, and I add physbone to it, and it's telling me I have too many components. It won't all work, so I have to sacrifice some physbones. You don't have to actually sacrifice it. A lot of the time, what you're able to do is you can select some physbones, put them inside of an already existing toggle, like how I'm doing. Let's say these are actual hairs, that are somewhere else in my body, like I have a bit longer hair or I have more components, you can throw them in another hair tree. Then only select these four. Remember, these two have a lot extra in them. And then add physbones to these four. And the game will say, yeah, that's fine. So this, I would normally suggest that if you have too many components, do that. But you can also always run into the problem that your physbone transform count is too big, meaning that you have too many bones. You will have to get rid of some parts. So you can either look in there and be like, oh, I don't really like these. I'm gonna just drag them out. You don't have to delete them. Do not delete them. Sometimes if you delete something that has a physbone on them, I'll show you what that quickly looks like. Let's say I delete this. It'll make the hair go all the way back to 0, 0, 0. So don't delete them. Just drag them out. Like, oh, I have too many hairs in here. Just drag them out. Do not delete them. They'll still stay in the same place, but they won't have physbones on them. So now all these four will have physbones on them, and they'll work perfect. And yeah, you can update it, upgrade it, publish. Oh god damn, you can publish it, and it'll work perfect. And that's basically everything. I think that's everything I needed to explain. If you guys do have any more questions, I can always make another video about explaining how more stuff works. Just message me on Discord. I will have a Discord server in the description. Ask there, or make a suggestion of a video you want me to explain how to make something work on an avatar. And yeah, but I'll try my best to answer everyone I can. And yeah, see you guys hopefully in the next video.